When I look at this McDonald's tray, a burger, fries, and a soda, it feels completely normal. For years, this was just a quick meal, nothing dramatic. But biologically, every time I eat this, I'm running a very specific experiment on my body. I'm not just taking in calories, I'm sending a pattern of signals: refined carbs, industrial fats, a heavy sodium hit, and a big sugar surge. If I repeat this enough, those signals quietly reshape my metabolism, my blood vessels, and how fast my cells age. In this video, I'm going to take this meal apart, layer by layer, and show what it really does inside a human body.
I'm not here to tell anyone what to eat. I'm here to look at what actually happens on the inside when this kind of meal stops being rare and starts being routine. One tray does very little by itself. But when this is my Friday meal, my Sunday meal, my busy day solution, my biology quietly adjusts to it. Blood sugar patterns change, fluid balance shifts, liver fat and inflammatory markers can drift in the wrong direction. So I want to walk through each part of this tray: the bun, the meat, the fries, the oils, the soda, not with fear, but with data.
I start with the bun. Soft, slightly sweet, incredibly easy to overeat. Most fast food buns are built from refined wheat flour, outed sugar, yeast, and dough conditioners. From my bloodstream's perspective, this is very close to a controlled sugar hit. The fiber is stripped, the starch is finely milled, and the glucose appears quickly. When I eat it, my blood sugar rises fast, my pancreas releases insulin, and a little later there's a drop that can leave me tired and hungry again. If I repeat this pattern several times per week, I'm training my system to live in a cycle of spikes and crashes.
Over time, those spikes matter. Elevated glucose and repeated insulin surges, increased glycation, excess sugar attaching to proteins and fats. That's the first step toward advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These molecules make tissues stiffer and less flexible. They don't appear in a day. They build silently, meal by meal. So now, when I look at the bun, I don't see just bread. I see a predictable pattern: short-term comfort, long-term drift toward insulin resistance and higher background inflammation, especially if this is only one of many refined carb hits in my week.
Under the bun, I hit the patty and the cheese. On the label, it's protein and fat. In my body, it's also sodium and saturated fat delivered in a dense, highly palatable package. Fast food patties are engineered to cook fast and taste identical everywhere, which often means a significant sodium load. Add processed cheese and sauce, and this one meal can hold a large fraction of the salt many people are advised to stay under for the entire day. When I eat that much sodium regularly, my body tends to hold more water. My blood vessels live under more pressure, and over time, my baseline blood pressure can creep upward. I may not feel it immediately, but my cardiovascular system does.
The fat profile matters too. One patty isn't a catastrophe, but repeated hits of saturated fat and excess calories in an otherwise sedentary life push lipid markers in the wrong direction. LDL can rise, triglycerides can shift, and my liver has more work to do. So the patty plus cheese layer becomes more than just protein. It's a compact cardiovascular stress package, especially when I repeat it week after week. On its own, my body can handle it. As a pattern, it slowly shapes the environment my heart and arteries have to operate in every day.
Now I get to the most underestimated part of the tray: the fries and the oil. On paper, it's just potato. In the fryer, it becomes something else. Most chains use vegetable or seed oils rich in polyunsaturated fats. When those oils are heated to frying temperatures, especially reused, they oxidize. Oxidized oils form lipid oxidation products and toxic aldehydes, compounds that in experimental settings can damage cells and DNA. Some of those molecules end up inside the fries. So each bite is not just starch and salt, it's a delivery system for chemicals created by high heat and repeated frying.
At the same time, the potato surface is exposed to intense dry heat. That's where acrylamide and high levels of dietary AGs show up. Both are linked in studies to higher oxidative stress and inflammation when intake is high and frequent. So when I eat fries like this, I'm combining refined starch,
oxidized oil, and glycation products in one simple side dish. If I turn that side dish into a weekly ritual, my body isn't just handling calories, it's handling repeated exposure to compounds that tend to push inflammatory pathways up and resilience down.
Then there's the soda. A large cup is a high-speed delivery system for sugar, usually a mix of glucose and fructose. When I drink it, my blood sugar rises rapidly and insulin follows. During that window, fat burning is largely turned down. Insulin's message is simple: store energy, don't release it. The fructose half goes mostly to my liver. In high amounts, especially in liquid form, it can drive de novo lipogenesis, new fat being created inside liver cells. Over time, frequent sugar-sweetened drinks are associated with higher liver fat, insulin resistance, and weight gain. It doesn't feel dramatic in the moment, but biologically, it is very active.
So, in one meal, I've stacked signals. Glucose spikes from the bun and soda, saturated fat and sodium from the patty and cheese, oxidized oils and AGEs from the fries, and a fructose hit to the liver. None of these on their own is usually catastrophic. The real issue is the repetition. If this becomes my default, I'm busy solution, my biology adapts. Markers linked to insulin resistance, inflammation, and oxidative stress start to drift. My body is extremely adaptive, but it adapts to whatever I repeat the most, including this pattern.
This is where ages and cellular aging become more than theory. Glycation products accumulate in long-lived proteins, collagen in skin, tendons, arterial walls. As they cross-link, tissues become stiffer and less elastic. Over years, that's linked to stiffer arteries, more fragile microvessels, and visible signs of premature aging. If I keep repeating this kind of meal and others like it, I'm not just filling up for the day, I'm participating in a slow mechanical change in the flexibility and resilience of my own tissues. It's subtle, but it's measurable. At the systemic level, the pattern looks like this: more inflammatory cytokines, more oxidative stress, more time spent in a state where insulin is elevated and fat burning is suppressed. Add poor sleep, low movement, and chronic stress on top of that, and the combination is powerful. The meal itself isn't evil. It's engineered to be easy, cheap, and highly repeatable. If I don't pay attention, it quietly becomes a lifestyle instead of an exception, and my biology simply follows that script. The good news is that the same system that adapts to this can adapt in the opposite direction. When I give my body more time without constant intake, longer gaps between meals, or structured fasting, autophagy ramps up. Damaged proteins and organelles are recycled. When I lower my exposure to oxidized oils and high-age foods, markers of oxidative stress and inflammation can drop. When I shift my default toward real food, things that look like they came from a plant or an animal, not a factory line, my glucose curve flattens, my hunger signals get more honest, and my energy becomes more stable.
So when I call this the McDonald's meal that's destroying your body, I'm not really talking about one tray. I'm talking about a pattern, a quiet, repeated choice that shapes blood sugar, blood pressure, liver fat, and the pace of cellular aging. One simple experiment is just observation. For 30 days, I track how often fast food appears in my week. No judgment, just data. Then I decide whether that pattern matches the future I want for my body. In the end, the body is brutally honest. It doesn't care about marketing, convenience, or nostalgia. It responds to whatever I repeat the most. This meal is one story. The real question is, how many times that story gets told? If this opened your eyes, hit like, drop a comment, and send this to one friend who lives on fast food. And don't miss the next BioSync protocol.